Okay, class, welcome to English once again 2341. My name is Lawrence Welsh. I'm your professor this semester. As promised, I'm going to go over what's going to be happening this semester. The main thing I want to go over today is, in this introduction, is once again, let me get rid of this syllabus that I have given to you. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the way the class is governed. So first of all, class, it lets us know that we're at El Paso Community College. This is the syllabus. I gave you a instructional syllabus from the college that once again went over all of what's going to be happening this semester in regards to what the college requires. Please read that on your own. I know that you have. What I want to go over is now in this short video is talk about the way the class is going to work this semester. So let's do that now. This is the main document that I've received. This, I gave you a part one of the college requirements, and this is my requirements. El Paso Community College syllabus. Instructors course requirements. It is the spring of 2026 class. English 2341, as I mentioned, and the CRN for this class is 20630. Now, I have an office at the college. It's MV3D. My office hours at the office will be Tuesday and Thursday, 2:30 to 4:50 p.m. and online Monday and Wednesday, noon to 2:20 p.m. And my office phone number is 915-831-2537. Now, it's very important. It says here, if you need to contact me, please send all messages through Blackboard Messages this semester. So I've already spoke with some students through Blackboard Messages. Some students had some questions about the text. We're going to go into that. And the way it works, class, is, as you know, this is set up, this class on a Tuesday, Thursday schedule, how I have it set up. But the bottom line is I always get back to students if they email me through Blackboard Messages. And I try and do it within 48 hours. If a weekend is in there, it may take a little more, but I always get back to students. My goal is to get back to everyone within 2 days, and I can do that. And then I'll answer your questions any way I can to help you out. And so contact me through Blackboard Messages if you need to, and I'll reply. Class, let's talk about the text. It says the text here is Janet Gardner edition, Literature, a Portable Anthology, 6th edition, Boston, New York, Bedford, St. Martin's, 2025. So let me show you that text. Once again, this is the 6th edition, and here it is. It's a fantastic, once again, text. Now, I would get the hardback edition. It's the only book that we have for this class. Portable Anthology for Literature, the 6th edition. I would get the hardback book so you can engage it that way. However, if you want to do an online book, you can too. One of the good things about this class is we have only one book, and here it is. Portable Anthology, Bedford St. Martin's, 6th edition. It's an incredible book. This will govern us throughout the semester, so get it. Online, offline, that's fine. An ebook is fine. I would suggest getting the hardback book because It'll be a book that you can keep if you wish the rest of your life. I still have some of my literature books from the community college that I went to decades ago, back in Los Angeles in the South Bay of LA County. And those initial literature books changed my life, or helped change my life. They were important for me. The readings that we did were important. The poetry I read was important. The short stories were important. The drama was important. So I saved them as part of my library. You can do what you want, but that's what I would suggest, because it's life changing. Can be. Once again, there is our text. So let's move on from there. It says, excuse me, deadlines on here. Late work is not acceptable and will be penalized 1-letter grade for each day it is late. So let's talk about this. If you have an assignment, when you turn it in through Blackboard Accord, Blackboard will give the minute, will give the date, will give exactly when it's turned in, so there'll be no discrepancies on the time. There will be no argument of when it was turned in, because Blackboard has that all timed out. Now, so if you have a major assignment that's due and you turn it in on time, it will earn the grade of an A to start. Every assignment that's turned in on time will earn the grade of an A to start, and then I have to grade it. So it says that late work is not acceptable, but still I accept it. So it's going to work like this. This is a Tuesday, Thursday setup class schematic here. If you have a major assignment due on a Tuesday and you turn it in that next Wednesday, it's 1 grade down. Okay, so it'll be a B. If you turned it in that Thursday, 2 days down, it'll be a C. Friday, D. Saturday, F. So I count every day of the week for a late policy. Excuse me. And what I have found out over the years is that that policy works. So get your work in on time. I will grade it if it's late, 1-letter grade day down for each day that it is late. Late work is not acceptable once again and will be penalized 1-letter grade for each day it is late. Your writing and presentations are an important part of the text of this class. So your work must be completed on time at the beginning of the class day, the day that they are due. So since this is an online class, what will happen is you can turn it in. I would like the work turned in on the day that it is due, but you will have almost a 24-hour period to turn it in. So if it's like 12:01 a.m. of the day it is due, you can go all the way up till 1 minute to midnight of that day to get it in. And then at midnight or 12:01 a.m., it'll be 1 day late. So there's 24 hours. You can get it into me that day for it to be on time. It says here, I do not give up midterm. I do not make up midterms and finals. All assigned dated readings on the calendar must be done before, once again, the day of the class that the readings that we're doing. So once again, one of the things is, are we going to have a Teams live and all of this? No. I'm going to make some videos, once again, like I'm doing here, to talk about the class. We're not meeting the class. We're not meeting live in the class. We're going to do everything online. And I've taught this class this way for years, and other literature classes that are online, okay? Which, of course, is what we're dealing with here. Now, it says when you turn in an essay, remember everything will be turned in virtually through Blackboard. All papers must be typed. dark ink, 8.5 by 11, double spaced with proper 1-inch margins and spacing between paragraphs. What it asks for here is a 12-point standard typeface. I accept 2 typefaces, Courier or New Courier, Times Roman or New Times Roman on the typefaces. Very good. Then class, once again, how are you going to earn your grade this semester? Have an oral presentation that you're going to make. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Going to have a midterm and a final exam and a participation grade. The participation will come in through, once again, your oral participation, but also your participation watching other students' videos. 25%, 25%, 25%. 25% is 100% of the grade. Excuse me, class. Very good. Page 2 of the syllabus. Let's get into this. Class, now we're going to talk about what's called the oral presentation. Let's read this and let me explain this to you. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm here to help. During the semester, each student will make a 15 to 20 minute oral presentation of the class on a writer that we will discuss during that period. So if you look down here on the calendar, there are spaces for each author and piece of literature that we're going to work in these periods here for the classes. The student's presentation, so this has come to what you're going to do, might be limited to the writer's impact on history, cultural, or literary trends in his or her period, or a comparison and contrasting the major author's works and motives within and across periods. So that's a lot there. So that's one of the ways that you may structure your 15 to 20 minute presentation. Might be limited to the writer's impact on history. So you could make your presentation in regards to that. Or culture, or literary trends in his or her period, or a comparative and contrasting of the major author's works and motives within and across periods. So that's a lot there, okay? But once again, you have that opportunity. So I'm giving you a lot of freedom in your oral presentations. In addition, the student might choose to explain key elements of the lives and art of the individual authors, or analyze the works in their historical and universal context. Each presentation, however, will include a brief biography of the writer and will be graded partially on the effectiveness of the presentation. Although props aren't required, students are encouraged to use them if their presentations will benefit from them. All oral presentations topics will be approved ahead of time by the instructor. So I've just explained this to you. What you need to do is get in here on this paragraph, analyze it, synthesize it, highlight it, lowlight it, and it's all here. Okay. In addition, I'm here to help you with that. But that's the instructions for the oral presentation. You will record your oral presentation through YouTube or Eugene or one of these systems. I know there's more than just YouTube nowadays, but you'll do it like I'm doing this here. Then you will send me the link so I can once again not only grade it, but I can send it to the rest of the class, and the rest of the class will be able once again to read it, watch it, and study it. Okay? Very good. When it comes time to the midterm, we'll have an essay of critical analysis of fiction and relations to its historical and universal context will be written by you. So I will give you a study guide ahead of time. I will make a video ahead of time. We will discuss these different authors and literature here, and I will have ahead of time, I'll prepare you where you will write a short, either one long essay and or two shorter essays in regards to the topic, in regards to what we've studied up to that time. And you, of course, will send it to me through Blackboard. And then there'll be a final exam. For the final essay, you will write an essay concerning works required during the semester. So we will go over those. I'll help you with those. I'll give you a study guide ahead of time. And you will write an essay for me. A selection of writings will be presented ahead of time. So I'll set you up. I'll help you out with a study guide once again for your final exam. The final questions will come from the required readings that are here on the syllabus. So let's see where we are, class, today on, once again, the 29th of when you're going to pull up this video. Class, it says here last week we had an orientation to the course. Once again, that was me sending you the syllabi, etc. We're doing the syllabus overview now. And then, once again, last week, I just wanted you to read all of the dates are on here on the syllabus each day of the week of the class. Reading and writing about literature, pages 1 to 44, once again, in your textbook. That's what you need to do last week. 44-page reading. It's very helpful, sets the tone for the entire class. Excellent. Now, this week, Nathaniel Hawthorne, 157 to 174, incredible writer, incredible fiction writer. And then, once again, Ambrose Bierce, the great writer that, once again, seminal American writer that went in to Mexico and they never found him again. Nobody to this day still knows what happened to Ambrose Bierce in Mexico. They never found his body, but an incredible, once again, writer. And read, please, 157 to 174. And then it says for the 29th today, start researching possible topics for oral presentation. So, let's look at the oral presentation. So then we have these readings here, these fiction readings for the weeks coming up. On the 3rd, we're going to have, not till February 3rd, we will have the conferences for the oral presentations are due. And it says here you're going to turn in a 1-page rough draft summary for your presentation topic. I'm going to read it, get back to you individually, one-on-one, and give you the green light or ask for some adjustments for your topic. All topics must be approved by the instructor. Sign up for your oral presentation day. On that date, you will once again turn in your oral presentation to me. So, we have these conferences here that we will do in regards to the oral presentation topic. That's you, once again, giving me or sending me your oral presentations, me topic suggestions, me looking over them, me evaluating them, me getting back to you and letting you know that I improved them. So, We'll have the spring break. Then we'll have the midterm. So the midterm will be based on, once again, these fictional authors. I'll give you a study guide that we're going to be dealing with. I'll help you out. Once again, Hawthorne, Ambrose Bierce, Chekhov, James Joyce, Flannery O'Connor, Raymond Carver, Sandra Cisneros. These are all that what we're going to be dealing with in regards to fiction. So stay up with these readings. It's so important. And then I will help discuss those with you. And we will have, once again, the midterm that's going to be due. And it's going to be due after spring break. Then, look at here. Here's the way it's going to work. And I'm going to give you the possibilities ahead of time with specific topics. But right now, what you need to do or can be doing is looking once again on after the midterm, after spring break, these oral presentation topics, which are starting on, once again, the 26th. Look, William Shakespeare, we have a reading, oral presentation. Somebody on the 26th will make an oral presentation in regards to William Shakespeare's life. So I will send out a sheet that gives some specific opportunities. But right now, you need to be thinking about, would you want to do a oral presentation with the class on Shakespeare? It could be his life. It could be his style. It could be take the author's name and go back and look over these, once again, oral presentation directions. And you can make the call. And I'm wide open. Or the second, there'll be an opportunity for a student to make a presentation on William Blake. Once again, the seminal English poet who still reverberates today. Poet of ecstasy, poet of spiritualism, poet of color, poet of simplicity on one level, Blake, still reverberates today, as Shakespeare does for us. But you can make an oral presentation on Blake. Okay. Then that same time, you could turn in a presentation on, you only have to do one, the great Lord Byron, right? The Romantic poet. Very, very, very extremely important. Important to me as a poet. Blake, Lord Byron. The seventh, Wordsworth. Okay. Another Romantic poet. Extremely important. Presentation, Walt Whitman after that. The great American poet, still reverberates today. Song of Myself. The great American Walt Whitman. Opportunity for an oral presentation. And then I will, in regards to these two, while students are doing this, I will post some, once again, in addition to these readings, some videos, once again, that are important to me about the lives of these different authors. I'll also post those that you can watch those and take notes. Robert Frost, oral presentation, another great American modernist, was basically the poet of the Kennedy administration, did the inaugural poem for John F. Kennedy. Simple poet, complex poet, wonderful poet. Once again, class. After that, Ezra Pound, incredible modernist. Once again, very, very deep history, structure, very influential, modernism, postmodernism. Poet still reverberates today. Then you can make a presentation on the huge favorite of mine, very influential to me, William Carlos Williams, the great American imagist, minimalist in some ways, so important. William Carlos Williams, and readings by him. Readings by, once again, Langston Hughes, the great I guess, we could call him African American Black, extremely important poet from Harlem. Means a lot to me. Rhythm, image, the Black experience in America, the African American experience. Someone will be able to do a presentation on him. These are short readings here. Gwendolyn Brooks, another great, you know, African American woman, wonderful poet, or we'll have that opportunity class. Then once again, you have an opportunity to read about, make a presentation on, dig into Federico Garcia Lorca, okay, who they once again put in front of a firing squad during the Spanish Revolution. Extremely important to me personally. I still go to him. I go to all of these people that I have on here, but Lorca, the author, of the philosophy, the creator of the philosophy, the Duende, Federico Garcia Lorca, Spanish poet, wrote in Spanish. Spent a lot of years going through his Spanish and English translations together. Seamus Heaney, next. Once again, you can do an oral presentation. The Nobel Prize winning Irish poet from Ireland, the last Irish writer to win the Nobel Prize. Extremely important to world poetry, extremely important to me as an Irishman. Heaney, depth of, from the north of Ireland, grew up in Belfast, but once again, a Catholic poet. Catholic meaning universal. The Irish experience, his writing goes back to can transcend back to the ancient Irish, and beautiful, plain language, incredibly rich, incredibly important. Seamus Heaney, Nobel Prize winning Irish poet. Read him, dig in. Yusef Komunyakaa. Yusef Komunyakaa. I was lucky enough to see him read in New York City 20, oh my God, is it that long ago now? 25 years ago. Yusef taught for years at Princeton. Perhaps my favorite poet of, he was in Vietnam. Perhaps my favorite poems about Vietnam. Won the Pulitzer Prize for his selected poems. Extremely important. Rhythm, image, street, the South. He's from Bogalusa, Louisiana. Man, Yusef, big deal. Still read him all the time. Dig in, Jorie Graham, modernist. Yusef's alive. Jorie Graham's alive. Read her. Once again, you can make an oral presentation on her. Fantastic. Taught at Harvard for years. An iconoclast. Digger, man. I have for years. Read her. And then finally, Muriel Rukeyser, who's had a bit of a resurrection. I was lucky enough to read her, but my wife turned me on to her, and she's in our textbook. From my wife, had a volume of her collected poems that were very, very important to me, very iconoclastic, very modern, very wonderful poet. So you can make an oral presentation on that. And you know what, class? I think that's it. So that's where we are. I'm wishing you the very, very best this semester. One of the main things about all of this class is, to dig in, and you'll take it where you need to take it. Hopefully, this work will enrich you as writers, as students of literature. It's extremely important. Small readings this semester, great readings out of here. I'm here to help you as a professor, and I'm excited about this class. I'm excited about your work. Give yourself to it, dig in, enjoy, um, once again, literature and English 2341. And with that said, class, that's it for now. Once again, if you have questions, hit me up on through Blackboard messages. Let's have a great semester. I'm wishing you well in your lives. I'm wishing you well on your journeys as students here at the community college. And be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. And let's have a great semester. That's it for now. Thank you.